My name is Alex, and we have the honor of hosting the Student Government's most anticipated event of the year. Throughout the course of the evening, you'll be courted with heartwarming speeches, tearful goodbyes, and, as some of you have noticed, great food. We have a long night ahead of us, so let's get started. Without further ado, I'd like to invite our school's principal, Mr. Newman, to the podium.
I just gave a speech at the athletic board, so I'm going to try not to blend my two speeches together. So if I digress and start talking about athletics, somebody tap me or something. Anyway, look, this is one, for me, this occasion is a little bittersweet, right? Because there's a number of you that I've been working with for years now, and I've got to know really, really well. Sometimes when you push me really hard on issues and we try to do the right thing, like right, Jedi, sometimes. And, sometimes when you push me on issues like Wi-Fi and then all of a sudden everybody gets Wi-Fi, sometimes. And and look, I use that as an example, a segue into an example of, well, one, seniors that I've gotten to know really well and I've worked with for a number of years, I'm truly going to miss them. And I'm going to miss the relationships and the foundation and seeing some of you make, I don't know, after you do the daily announcements, after you make the daily announcements each day, maybe each day we have some words and we see how each other's day is going. Sometimes we have no time for each other, but many days we do. And I relish those little conversations that we've had, and those little conversations getting to know everyone. So I appreciate you in those times. So it is a little bit of sweet. So then people, you get to know people. I mean, maybe it's like part of how it goes. You get to know people really, really well, and then you leave, right? And so I stay in high school forever. So I've been in high school for a very long time. But kids come and go into my life, and not only as a teacher and as an assistant principal, and now as a principal, I guess you get used to forming relationships with people and then having them leave your life, but you never really get used to it, and it's always a little bit sweet, just to say that, right? So I appreciate all you seniors, and I'm going to miss all of you. So for the other students that I've also gotten to know a little bit well, some of the underclassmen, we're going to get to know each other a little better, and I will tell you this, as sort of I opened up with that example. Push me. I'm pushable, right? I'm a little, there's even things that seem like they're absolute are not always absolute. Things that can make your lives better, just as a culture here at Brooklyn Tech, I might not know how I can make your lives better in all circumstances. Don't be fearless. Don't be afraid to bring up some crazy idea to me, and maybe your crazy idea is something that becomes a reality and then helps everyone in the school and makes the school a better place. So keep pushing. The worst that you can hear is no, and even if you hear no, you're going to understand why. I'm going to explain to you why. And it's, I don't know, I always tell people, alumni that come back, they come to the principal's office, and they're like, oh, I'm always afraid of the principal's office. And I always say, like, maybe in your time, bad things happen in the principal's office, or like you're in trouble. I don't see the bad kids in the principal's office. I see the good kids, and I see good kids with good ideas. And so be those good kids with good ideas. And let's make this place a little bit better place together. All right, anyway, everyone have a great evening. And it says Tech Nights 2023 Seniors.
I'm really honored to be here tonight and extend that to you first of all. And I want to commend and extend deep appreciation from the alumni to our outgoing executive officers and members of the SGO. You did us proud, you did great things, and we're very, very appreciative. And we're going to miss you, but the good news is that we have an alumni foundation, we have an alumni association. So it just as one of our board members always said, he said you're a tech knight for 4 years, but you're an alumnus for life. So please jot that down.
Make sure you
That's-
be
that's
afraid,
next.
okay?
And I want to congratulate and welcome in the new slate of officers and say we're looking forward to working with you to do great things. And so all I'm going to say to you is we never know what's going to extend in life. I hate to break the news to Mr. Newman. You may have been in high school for a while, but except for my 4 years in college, I've been in high school my whole life. So, and I'm a little older than you, so I granted a couple more years than that. But I have to tell you, you're very fortunate to have a person, a leader, a Brooklyn Tech like Mr. Newman. Mr. Newman, when he says he will listen to you, he does, and he does give considerations. And we have to learn from that. It's through dialogue, it's through listening to one another that we find the best solutions to problems. We don't find the right solutions to problems by shutting down and just taking a perspective and saying, I'm not going to listen to you if we have a different opinion. And the last thing I want to leave you with is just a thought. You know, I actually was in this library as a student, right? So I am an alum, and I'm very proud of that. And all I can tell you is when I was an alum here, I never would have imagined what my life path was going to be. And I'm very blessed because of the connections that I've had with Tech. And then think about me coming back as principal when the last time I was in here was as a student, right? So you can imagine what that felt like. And for some reason, and we'll never fully understand it, a couple of alums, and we had a good number of faculty members that were alums, we got to talking and we said, let's start an alumni association. I researched, look at 3 other prior attempts. They never took hold. So you see, it's easy to have a great idea. It's difficult to make that idea work. But why did it work? Because we had people that stayed with the idea, worked on it, and made it happen. Now, what I say to all of you, when you're graduating, you're becoming alum, stay involved, make a difference in this school. This place is the most amazing place in the world. You didn't see what the school was in 1961. When I came back in 1983, the school was not that much different. Look at it today, and it's significantly different. And we're able to grow. We're able to grow because of the fact that we have a strategic partnership with the school, that we work with the school to make it happen. And the reason why we do it is for you. Okay, that's the bottom line. And then the reason for that what you will do in turn is you will give back to help the next generation. Okay, that's the deal we make. I have so many things to talk about, but my main message is I thank you who are about to be graduates and soon to be alum for the great work that you've done here, and I'm looking forward to a great year of work with you next year. It's right in the year. There's a lot to do, and I need your help. We're not going to talk about the future provision. We're not going to talk about a big project. I need your help in it. So we're privileged to be part of this school. Let's get back to a bunch of middle schools. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mandery. Let's have one more round of applause for him. Your words are always valuable to us here. Now, I'd like to introduce our head COSA, Massey.
Justin, you gave me that name. Where is he? Justin? Okay. All right, everyone. So, firstly, I love the decor here. You know how I am with, like, the details. I love it. You see him splashing over the lights over there. Before we start, just let me come down and, hi guys, down. Okay. Firstly, I want to thank everyone. Everyone knows what the last few weeks have been for me. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for all your help, because I can't do it without you, and it means a lot that, you know, helping me and the seniors and even with the sophomores, but the sophomores have been helping the seniors, so, I just wanted to say that. And, I've been so crazy, and I usually write a whole big speech, but I didn't do that. But from my heart, I wrote down some words, like family was one of them. And, in these times of like up and down, and we were out with the Canadian smoke and all this, family is really the most important thing. And you are part of my family. You all are. I'm here along, long hours and days, but that doesn't matter when you're a family. And there are other words associated with that, helping and trust. I wrote down and loyal and kindness and sincere, talent, everyone's so talented, and friendships that are here at Tech and in this room. And those who are not here who couldn't make it, they're a part of this too. And it really does matter to me, every bit of it. All these things as a family that you do, and the kind words, and things I'm going through, and you just help anyway, or you're sincere, or you send a kind email. Like all these things are just so important for our group of SGO and some NHS and all the other groups, student media, right, that do so much. And the orchestra, who's here behind me, who comes to everything because they love us. So thank you for the orchestra. So, to all of you, I thank you and I love you very much. Seniors, sitting at this table, many of you, or most of you, have been with me 4 years, and that's hard, to do a 4-year stunt with Miss Massey. It's not so easy. So I thank you and I congratulate you. You know how I feel about you, I think, I hope. And I just wish the best for you and all your dreams come true. Just keep fighting for whatever you love and just go for it and be yourselves. And, everyone in this room, we work so hard. Last note, enjoy yourselves. We're all working so hard. Enjoy yourselves too. Don't forget that. Thank you all. I love you all. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ms. Massey. We're going to miss your daily announcements over the summer. I'd like to introduce the next speech, a new, yet not so new COSA, Mr. B.
So, wow. Can I do what I always do? Alright, so, Lord knows I don't need that thing. I want to start first of all by bringing you a message from Miss O'Neill. Up until just before the event, she had every intention of being here. Something came up. She texted me just before the event, said, "Tell my babies I love them." She's super sorry she can't be here. She tried, and so she wanted me to excuse her and tell you all that she loves you and how proud she is of you. And I can't do the gushy Miss O'Neill thing, so just receive it. The funny thing is I'm normally the guy who wins these things, and I win it pretty well, and everybody else writes speeches, and it makes me look good. Today, everybody's won it, and I'm the dork that wrote a speech. So I'm going to kind of hit the highlights of this thing without actually doing it if I can. It's been 21 years since the last time I was a COSA. A lot has changed in 21 years. Procedures, policies, red tape, where the COSA office is. Not Mr. Caleb, he was there. As a matter of fact, Mr. Caleb was there when I was a student. So 24 years ago, when Mr. Caleb asked me to be a COSA, I had to say yes. Because I remembered what a difference SGO made in my life. I remember what a difference leadership made in my life. I remember how it connected me to Tech. I remember how it taught me about leadership, about being a part of something that was bigger than myself. And it helped me find community. It helped me find my people
in a place that's so big, it can make you feel really small. So when I re-entered the insanity that is the COSA office, honestly, I can't think of a better group of students to get me reacclimated to all of the craziness. Those of you who are in SGO now, those of you who are in leadership, those of you who are on committees, you have proven to me, I want to get the list right. Hardworking, dedicated, focused, vocal, generous, and a welcoming team. You advocate for your peers, you work together to make sure that events and distributions and everything goes as smoothly and as efficiently as possible. You give up your time tirelessly and without reservation. Sometimes we have to throw you out to get you to stop working. You know who you are. I'm proud to be working with a group of students who exemplify the legacy of what SGO and student activities are in Brooklyn Tech. To the class of 2024, you are a testament to your time with Miss O'Neill, and you do her proud. Thank you for accepting me and for trusting me when I proved to not be Miss O'Neill. For trusting me when I knew what I was talking about, and for walking me through the things that were new. Next year's going to be a roller coaster. I can't think of a better group of kids to ride with. You're leaving! I'll get that to you in a minute! Class of 26. Oh, it's been a crazy year. But through planning events, getting to know each other, group therapy, life lessons with Mr. B, we've bonded incredibly quickly. I can't imagine this year without you. I know almost all of your names. Who said what's my name? Don't make me come to you. Listen to me. Listen to me. You have the potential to be, and I predict that you will be, one of the greatest class council leadership teams that this school has ever seen. And I look forward to this journey. To those of you who are leaving and going on to the next stage, I want to say to you the same things I said to my freshmen at freshman orientation. Number one, take care of yourselves. It's easy to get caught up in the responsibilities and opportunities, and I need you to remember to prioritize. Remember that moderation is key. Work hard, play hard, and take time to rest. Don't lose sight of why you're in college. Keep your eyes on the prize, but make it a point to find balance. Number two, find your people. You're able to do that in this Goliath that is Brooklyn Tech through SGO. You found friends, you made lifelong memories. Some of those friends are going to last the rest of your life. Some of them you'll find are only for this season. That's okay. That's how life works. On the next stage of your journey, do what you did here and find your people. And finally, before the vote comes and they get rid of you, do good. That's not a grammatic or mistake. I'm not telling you to achieve. I'm telling you to do good. You left Tech a better place than it was when you got here. Do the same in college. Do the same in your families. Do the same in your jobs. Do the same with your friend groups. At the end of your journey, let it be said of you that the world is a better place because you were here. Do good. Love you. Mean it. Out.
ado, up next we have our tradition of our graduating seniors receiving speeches from their classmates and peers. Up first, please welcome Ethan Kwan.
Okay, hello guys. Today I want to take a moment to honor our outstanding senior, Vincent. He's sitting over there. You want to stand up? Oh, he's right here. Okay. Vincent is an amazing athlete and professional videographer. His time with social media, he has done exceptional video work that captures the moments in our school community, and his dedication and impact extends beyond his work as a videographer. He has been a friend and mentor of mine and many of us in social media, and he's always willing to offer his insights and suggestions to us in our meetings, our concerts, and our plays, and our vision, like online events. We'll always remember you. This the many conversations we had about where to set up the camera, like the recording settings, and much more. This has always been someone to count on. So working tag is a place where last minute changes always happen, or almost always happen. Winston's also always the guy who substituting and save the day. So I cannot imagine how things could go wrong and without you. So as we say goodbye to Winston, I want to take a moment to thank him for all you have done for us and your contribution to Working Tag and school media will not be forgotten. And your impact will continue to be felt long after you have left the halls. Congratulations to your audience and good luck.
So, our next speech is from someone who was unable to be here today.
When I first agreed to write Sandy speak, I'm going to be honest and say I didn't really know what to write. Back then, I didn't really know him for that long and really knew anything about him. After all, I only met him this year, and the only conversations we had were during the events where he would wander around with his camera taking pictures. However, I expected to end up talking to him a lot more on a daily basis to the point where not only did I end up having tons of memories and information about him, but also to the point I could consider him a friend. You don't have to think that my team was so well enough. We agree so we can switch it up. It really isn't. Or at least to me, it isn't. Despite knowing Sam and love to write a speech, it's still a struggle to formulate those words, the memories, the inside jokes, and more words I had. But when I took it onto paper, it's hard to express it. I remember the first time I actually met Stanley was during the vacation. I don't remember the exact conversations we had that day, but I remember that we were arguing with one another about how the other person should be lunch during. Letter was back down, but I took a call that I did eventually did me. Just one of those requests. It's a funny that I'm memory, and it wasn't the only interaction we ever had. After the event, I only got to know more and more about Sam. He loves cats, so much he focuses on taking pictures of cats with their pictures. You should also take a look at his cat pictures. They are filled with cat drawings. Stanley loves drawing cats anywhere and everywhere he can. Funny enough though, he also owns a dog named Coco, who I would assume should be jealous about Stanley's obsession over cats that might rival his love for her. After knowing that Stanley had a dog, we both bonded over complaining about how our dogs were, especially over stories of how they act like absolute children and misbehave. Stanley's one of the nicest, most dedicated people I know, and I'm so glad to have been able to meet him through SGO this year. If you ever want someone to rant to, you should totally just rant out. He attends so many events to take pictures, only to go home and spend hours sorting and cooking urine. He even gave me his leftover drawing matches from his room, only because he's generous and most definitely not because he's just a normal home. Hopefully by tonight when this speech is said, I would have managed to keep a few jolly ranchers and return them to him. If I do it, well, 100%. Elevator board, thanks so much for being on social media this year. All walking around the school doing events with you. To take pictures was fun. It's not when I was a part of the picture. Hopefully, you will manage to catch up on much deserved statements. Hint, stop. Surrounding photos, I'm Emily, and I'm attempting to catch up. Congratulations on almost graduating and completing your final year of your lights out with your camera. Enjoy your college years, and I hope you return to visit when you can.
Sorry, if that wasn't clear. That was to Stanley. That was to Stanley from Eamon. Up next is from Signer to Iden. Both are members of the prominent student media organization.
So, in my time as vice president of student media, one of the many constants that made it really student media was Ivan. Yeah. One thing I always admired whenever he was at every event, concert, or practically any student media meeting was that he was light with spirit. Despite looking tired, he was really cheery, and even when anyone was moving off, he was still able to catch everyone up and basically make a trail that everyone can follow. Enough about him though, let's actually see who Ivan is. I first met Ivan around last year. It was late in the year as a sophomore, and he welcomed me into his life. He was a great person who had an interest in biology. Obviously, he's a bioscience major. And he would often talk about his adventures at like where he volunteered at his hospital. And it was actually pretty funny, but he actually like worked in retail. And our first SGO meeting together, my first SGO meeting, he was still working at a retail meeting while we're all actually in our SGO meeting. And through the years in social media, I learned how easy he was able to talk to others, how easy he was able to convey his messages, and truly lead how social media is as a whole. As vice president, I was a little lost on how I could influence my members and really give them motivation that I was able to through. But like within a month or two, I was actually a bit confident in doing so because I've been, with his wonderful leadership and ability to really work and do everything. It was really helping. I remember his words, and I quote, "I'll help you set yourself up for this year, don't worry." As we talked in the new year, I didn't really think it was that serious at all. I always assumed that it would be natural that I'd understand, but really I actually understood how that message really meant to me and how I could bring it to my next year as when I'm in student media. You're a great friend to hang out with, and do everything from great food to studying in the library to attending concerts, and though this year is practically over with each other, I still appreciate everything you've done to keep this boat called student media afloat, and I can't wait to see where it leads in the future.
Thank you. Up next, we have Angela giving a speech to our CTC President, Priyanka.
How's everybody doing? So yes, this is for Miss Priyanka Rampal. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought this speech would be easy to do. And I've known Priyanka for a very long time, so I thought I would have a lot to write about. And I was right about something. I had a lot to write about. And therein lied my problem. my speech became very chaotic, kind of like Priyanka's energy, but Priyanka's chaotic in a good way. And in that spirit, I decided to start where it all started, and that is the middle of my chaotic freshman year. It was blended and then it became virtual, and it can be said I didn't really have a traditional freshman year at Brooklyn Tech. And when you're told that Brooklyn Tech is a really huge school, you don't really understand it until you're here. But I understood that from my freshman year. I didn't really have anyone. I felt truly alone. And my freshman year was only made better by Priyanka. I actually met her through the Equity Team Student Advisory Board. My Spanish teacher came up to me in the middle of the semester and was like, hey, do you want to join this? And I met Priyanka, and she changed my life for the better. And that's when I really found my crowd, and Priyanka really did get me through a lot. Where am I in this speech? So let's go back. Priyanka has been amazing from freshman year. And I think over the past 2 months, I've gotten to know you the most, and you have been amazing. And the first time I met you in person was the first day of school in my sophomore year. I remember you, Sumi, and Ben being on the first floor and just trying to guide freshmen. And I knew exactly at that moment that our energies would click. And I've gotten to know you so much more since then. And in that spirit, the ways we got to know each other was through our culture. Me and Priyanka are Guyanese, and she was the first Guyanese person I met at Tech. And we also had SGO and SL in common, and that really brought us closer and closer together. Okay, so on the note of culture, Priyanka introduced me to the culture of what is Brooklyn Tech SGO, and I'm really grateful for her, because if it wasn't for her encouraging me to be here, I wouldn't be here today. And that just speaks to Priyanka's energy and being supportive and being very, very happy and supportive and helping you get to places where you never thought you would ever be. And I'm going to end this really short. Thank you for being amazing. Congratulations. And good luck at New York School of Technology. You're going to do it. Yeah, New York Institute of Technology. Congratulations, Priyanka. You have been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And now, up next is Sam, presenting a speech to Ben.
All right, let's see how long tonight we can go without me crying. Who knows? 2 more of these speeches after this from me. All right. Yeah, it's a little scarier now that you're up here and sad, but let's go. In SGO, most of our volunteers aren't STEM majors, or aren't STEM majors. A lot of people we have in SGO are either, freshmen, sophomores, or they're in LAS, SSR. Yeah. And so having STEM majors in SGO is great because it introduces us to new perspectives as we get a perspective from someone who may be in a more engineering field, and focusing on problems in a more way that you can look for solutions through an engineering lens. Because the truth is, in SGO, as much as we paint ourselves as like, we're the politicians in the school, that's not the truth. We're just people who really care about our school's community, and that really is something that I see exemplified through them. I would like to really start off by painting a picture for everyone here. In my freshman year, after helping out for the first half of a day at Tech, we took the train, me, Sumi, and Ethan, we took a train to Arthur Ashe Stadium, right? And we were walking so that we could go and help set up for graduation the next day, right? And as we're walking, keep in mind it's a nor'easter going on outside. There is rain dropping everywhere. It is hectic. We're just walking down this path to get to the entrance, and there we see, in the corner of this little like area, we see this guy sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor, right under a little bit of shade. On the floor, reading a book. I like to say like an old sage from a really low budget film. And who would you guess? It's Ben. But I love telling this story to people for two reasons. It's funny, first of all. It's hilarious. There's a little Ben just in the corner, you know. But I also think it really frames Ben as the person at least I see him as. Ben's caring and a compassionate person once you really get to know him. But he's also humble, as much as he jokes about it. And the words he says speaks volumes, and mean more than what meets the eye. He's an academic when he wants to be. He's an accomplished exec at SGO, being here for all 4 years, in addition to his accomplishments as an engineer. And now, seeing you go off to Rice, I can't help but be proud knowing I got to live through a small portion of the journey with you. And I'm just proud to be a part of it, and see you achieving all this success. Ben and I have much more in common than we let on to believe. We're both tall. I mean, you're like only slightly taller than me, like 5 inches, give or take. You know, both have long hair, aerospace engineering majors, and we both share the common faith of being from Jewish households. I remember talks we've had before about funny customs that aren't in any religious scripture, yet both of our families, for some reason, follow, which is crazy. And we're joking about whenever we're walking around tech, and then there are rabbis or members of Chabad's waiting there, asking if we want to do this fill-in, and you know, selecting both of us out of like the group of 10 people walking outside, asking us if we wanted to start praying with them. And I remember Ben telling me, "Sam, walk fast. They have a 2-block radius," because they started following us for like a block. And so, or, you know, you also see how, you know, you being a year older, being in the same major as me, we've had the same engineering, physics, and history teacher. Even though you did cause our physics teacher to have a late penalty now. Thanks, Ben. You have, you know, we haven't had really many heart-to-hearts, but in that I think it's because a lot of what we can relate on goes unsaid. But knowing that you have been here this entire time has been very comforting, knowing someone is there like me. It was Stephen Hawking that once said, remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. To make sense of what you see and wonder what makes the universe exist. Be curious. No matter how difficult life may seem, there's always something you can do to succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. Seeing Ben and what he has done, and seeing how he hasn't given up, he has fought for what he believed in, and now he's going off to accomplish great things. To a friend, brother, mentor, the guy who got me a slice of pizza, underclassmen, and everything in between, I know you accomplished amazing things, and I'm excited to see what you do, but most of all, thank you. And I can't wait to work with you at NASA one day.
And now, I'd like to invite Sam up to the stage to give a speech.
Cool. Alright. Sumi? Oh, too late for that, buddy. You should have told me that when I was writing the speech. Sumi. Before I get started, I'd like to paint another picture for you guys. As I said, this was one of the first in-person events we had because we were online for COVID. We're helping out the seniors for graduation, the seniors that were seniors when I was a freshman. And walking into the building, been online most of this time, so this is the first time I've really met like anyone from tech. And I'm here helping with graduation, meeting the people that I've known online through SGO this whole time. And here comes this guy running down the hallway, in a Snoopy sweater, trying to find some random box of merch, yelling profanities and drawing everyone's attention. What a great introduction to what a great introduction to Sumi, right guys? Sumi and I have been friends for a while, man. He was one of the first people that really convinced me to try and become an SGO executive. You know, I DM'd him on Instagram when the applications came out, and I remember I said, "Hi, I'm Samuel Ashkenaz. I'm interested in treasury." And this man made fun of me so much. He's like, "It's treasure, not treasury. It is treasure." And and he still kind of teases me about it to this day. He's acted as a great mentor to me and friend, reinforcing my resolve when I was close to giving up so many times before. You know, both my freshman and sophomore year, me and Sumi were on CAMA, with the Committee of Money Management and Allocation for SGO. We're budget for clubs. You guys know, I'm sure. We're in an SGO meeting, of course. I really hope you guys do know what CAMA is. And we both had someone that we really looked up to. I'm sure you remember AJ. Was someone we looked up to for God knows how long. And he was the chairman of CAMA, both his junior and senior year. And we both really saw him as someone who had these traits of a remarkable leader. But the truth is, Sumi, you've always been there. You were amazing, Sumi. As a person to inspire me, to get me to really want to do stuff for my community, you were there. You have that remarkable quality of a leader, getting people to, you know, stand up and get work done, no matter the cost. And frankly, you're someone I really do look up to. He's one of the most, you laugh at July. He's one of the most dedicated, passionate, inspiring people I've ever met. He's always been there for me, whether it's offering advice, support, or encouragement. He has taught me so much about leadership, teamwork, and service. He has made a positive impact on our school, and our community through his involvement in various projects and initiatives. Despite never really trying to get the fame for it. There's so much stuff like Sumi does, and you're just like, "Oh, Sumi did that, that's crazy." Like, because he doesn't gloat me. I want to thank you for really everything you've done, for me and for everyone else. Epictetus once said, "If you want something done good, get it yourself." And Sumi really, frankly, is an encapsulation of this. Whether it's in talking about initiatives, I always see him trying to stand up and follow through on this. You know, as someone who is an only child, I don't have any siblings. I usually find the closest thing is the friends that I have, who are either older or younger than me. Those people in my life who I spend so much time with, yet they're a part of my everyday life. The SGO is one of the largest time commitments you could ever ask for in high school. You're spending more time here than at home sometimes. And so when me and Sumi, we did those club interviews freshman and sophomore year. We budgeted for clubs all across tech. It really felt like I wasn't doing it with a friend, but really a brother. And Sumi, that's what I've always seen you as. My dedicated, devoted, inspirational, pain in the ass brother. You're a role model, my friend, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors. You will be missed, but never forgotten, and you've left your mark on the SGO. Congratulations on graduation, and you better not forget about us, bro.
Thank you so much, Sam. Next, I'd like to invite up Ethan to give a speech to Yana.
There we go. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So, my speech is to Yana, and I'll just get on what I wrote down earlier. So, generally today with SGO Induction, it's a day characterized by farewells, as we part ways, with our companions and co-workers who we've worked alongside with for years. Companions and co-workers who we've known and grown with and grown to share fond memories with. However, not everyone today fits that particular description. some people before us today are ones who we've not only been able to work with alongside for a shorter time, and who we still unfortunately, but who we still unfortunately have to bid farewell to. Despite having only been here in this council for the past year, there's no better example for such a description than for someone who's been able to be part of this council and grown to be appreciated by council as young. I remember watching the senior debates held in this library, in fact, up here earlier in the year, and during the election process for the senior council, I was here sitting, taking minutes for those particular debates, and listening to each candidate give their particular vision to provide their values for the school. That, like, despite the variety of candidates there were on stage, what stuck out to me about Yana was that there was a particular dedication to the notion of having senior events in which this senior class has shown particular interest in which senior class is able to provide input in, and in which all members of the senior class are able to participate. Even though, you didn't, when that election, moving on, point is that, like, when you join the class council as a class secretary instead, you remain as, like, dedicated to those particular principles, values, and still carrying out that particular vision you set in mind and not letting that be a particular barrier to you. That, coming from senior SL, you're an example of how a position does not limit what you can do in SGO. That you're able to join council, like, no matter how late it is, even if it's your senior year, and that even now you're able to provide vast contributions to your class council and to your class, and be able to become an individual who class council, that's your executive council, appreciates you for your work that you have done, and in this short time you have spent dedicated here. To what extent as that particular message and directed to everyone now, to everyone who is a new member of SGO, and to all the members of SL as well, that we have in the crowd. I just wanted to say that I guess Yana serves as an example of how the position does not limit you, of how still the vision you have, the values you have, the beliefs you have, the work that you want to do is still something that you're able to achieve, accomplish, and do work on, good work on, despite whether you have a position or not, despite how, whenever you join class council, and that overall, you're able to make a difference still, and that, again, when it comes to being a leader, and it comes to the character of a leader, that Yana embodies that in terms of being able to stay true to your values, remaining dedicated to the vision that you want to bring, and that position is not something that inhibits that, and that you're still able to work towards that regardless of that. So I thank you for that, and for the work you've done throughout the year, dedication to stone, and the example you provided there, which you the best of luck in future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. Sorry, there will be a very slight change in the order of things. Thank you so much, Dr. Manfred, for staying as long as possible. And so I'd like to invite Teresa to give her speech to Dr. Manfred now, before I ask her.
Alright, so, Dr. Mandery, before I met you, I had heard of the praise people had sung in your name and the tales you had left in your past. From being the past principal of our beloved high school to coordinating the Honor Weston program, there seemed to be no shortage of celebration when it came to you. The first time I got to know you was during a meeting this summer after becoming a student representative of the Alumni Foundation. Going into it, I was curious about the plans you had for the school year. We talked and talked about the goals we had and the purpose behind what we do. I remember the way your voice seemed to leap when you talked about the STEM presentations. Your devotion and passion to your mission was clear, and And this dedication is something I've only grown to admire during the years I've known you. It's not easy to say we've all left our mark on this school. Where there's so much innovation, it's hard to find where to start. A lot of us have become complacent in our role here, but you challenged that, showing me that it's possible to multiply our potential, add meaning to our education, and subtract any doubts we have about our ability. As John F. Kennedy once said, too often we enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. This was only one of the many lessons I learned working alongside you. Planning future world vision, I learned how to create order. You're always there to answer my questions and suggest solutions to my many, many problems. It was all gathering volunteers for recent Alumni Day. I learned how to rely on the spirit of my peers. It was all thanks to the support you built for our school community and Alumni Foundation that everyone was so enthusiastic to help. Execute homecoming. I learned how to connect communities together. Your efforts to provide a riveting experience for the alumni and student volunteers create a bridge between the two where they could bond over the changes in our school. You helped me grow as a person, and I am eternally grateful for your impact on me. Now, think about how you've helped every other student in the school. The path the seniors take now will be long and arduous. There will be many things where the mountains they climb are too much to climb, where the rivers they cross are too much to swim, and where the weight on their shoulders are too much to carry. It'll be stressful, taxing, and overwhelming, and there'll be nothing they want more than to return to the very roots they sprouted from. But thanks to you, the seniors will always have a home welcoming them with open doors. So, Dr. Mandy, continue on your journey to expose middle school students to STEM. Continue on your journey to prepare students for life after 10. Continue on your journey on leaving your mark on this school. And of the many victories you will ever receive, thank you.
Thank you so much, Teresa, and thank you so much, Dr. Manager, for being able to be here tonight. It really was a pleasure having you. Up next, I'd like to invite up Angela one more time to give a speech to the eulogy.
When I was deciding on whose speeches from the senior class council that I wanted to do, I couldn't think of one person better than Divyanshi. Without it being too weird, I think I've gotten to know you enough to write a really great speech. So Divya and I's friendship started to click into place at the beginning of this year. We found each other through our Black History teacher, Mr. Stevens, and the student equity team. And I found out she was running for SGO, and lo and behold, she won. And as all SGO kids do, we all eat lunch in the COSA office. And lo and behold, we had the same lunch period, fourth period lunch. And fourth period lunch in the COSA office can at times be a little bit lonely and boring. And without, before Divvy, that's the way it felt. But then after Divvy came, everything started to change. We bonded over our shared trauma of taking AP Calculus and tasting weird food that was on the center table of the COSA office. I'm sure you all remember the bottle of garlic chips that was there. Divvy was the first person to try it. Other than getting to know the fact that Divvy likes weird food like garlic chips and eating tomatoes like apples, I've gotten to see her step into the role of senior class president. Without having any experience in SGO, stepping into that role may have seemed a little bit daunting. However, DiBianchi approached the role with enthusiasm and eagerness to learn. She quickly familiarized herself with the responsibilities and tasks required of her. It was inspiring to see her take on a leadership position with such confidence and determination. Throughout the year, DiBianchi continued to impress me with her work ethic and dedication, both inside and outside of SGO. In late February, she found herself struggling to complete the coursework in our AP Calculus class. And unlike many seniors who would succumb to this very nasty symptom of senioritis, she decided to drop her lunch period to take the class that works with better with her schedule. And that decision really was inspiring because that shows dedication to academics and dedication to pursuing things and being sure that you can manage everything with your role as being president. And so while I spent the year lonely in the post office, once again, I am grateful the opportunity to have gotten to know her, and I witnessed her growth and successes. She has shown me that hard work and determination and a positive attitude can allow you to do anything. I have no doubt that she will continue to make a positive impact in her future endeavors, and I'm honored to have been a part of her journey. I wish you all the best on your future endeavors, and good luck at Syracuse. Thank you for being amazing, DiBianchi.
And for our grand finale, I'd like to invite one more student up to give a speech. Sam, please come up to give your speech to the Diet Office.
And then there was one. Before I get into the speech, I want to quickly say, being that this is now my third induction with the student government organization, a highlight of the night is the speech between the vice
When I first
president.
agreed to learn Sandy speak,
Even I'm talking here! Sorry. But yeah, it moves around. Anyway, it's something that my years being here has always been the most impactful speech, as you don't really see a vice president talking to a president, because at least for the time that I've been here, the vice president has been a junior and the president's been a senior, which puts us in an interesting dynamic, I gotta say, where we differ from branches in SGO that have a president and vice president of the same grade. In this, it's more of a person who's teaching you how to be a better leader, how to be a better person in your community. And so that I'm excited to give this speech, is what I will start doing. Jedi. It is said that a true leader inspires others to be their best selves. But I think that the best leaders inspire others, but also encourage others to want to be their best selves. I joined the student government in my freshman year because I wanted to make the community I was a part of better. But I always struggled with the how or where. Not knowing where I should start, being overwhelmed with the idea of all the problems beholden to me. That's where Jediah came. From our very first time working together, no matter the problem, there would always be a smile on his face. No matter the fight before us, there would be a smile on his face. When it seemed we weren't going to succeed, and I saw no way for us to make the change we wanted to, there would be a smile on his face. And you know what? Most of the time, we did succeed. There was a light at the end of that tunnel. And maybe we didn't do exactly what we intended, but I could say with confidence, there's something good that came out of it, for better or for worse. He made us better leaders. I remember approaching him about structure and about how we could be functional in parts of the student government. I was so frustrated because I felt there was so much to do, yet I felt powerless to it all. And as I was on the phone with him, talking a mile a minute, he got me to calm down and showed me how to make and then pass step one. And well, as we all know, the hardest task of any task, the hardest part of any task is getting started. And for that, I truly appreciate you. Now, to some more personal anecdotes, Jediah, I want to be a superhero. I just remember I put pause for funny effect on my speech. If you didn't get the joke, basically at the Future World Vision event we held in the beginning of the year, Jediah spoke to a crowd about 7 middle schools, a couple hundred students, and he told them how he wanted to be a superhero, starting his speech. And you know, for a while, I didn't have much appreciation for that speech. But seeing how you operate and knowing how you approach leadership, that statement made so much sense. In that speech, he went on to talk about the field he was studying, chemical engineering, and how that field let him be a superhero, and how it let chemical engineers cure illnesses and fix global warming. You have such a pure and righteous intention wherever you go, and that's what a good president does. And it truly makes me excited to see what you do once you leave today. Reflecting on both our friendship and professional relationship, I always remember back to homecoming last year. You and I were designated to work the coat check, along with Ethan and the former freshman president. From us dancing to random J-pop songs, to the deep conversations that we had, it was truly something that couldn't go unnoticed. Jediah, I know you will succeed at Howard, and I know I will see you inventing some crazy thing as a chemical engineer, and I know you will show up to your interview on the national television in a hoodie and jeans, and you will be cracking jokes everywhere along the way. And I will be on my couch laughing hysterically. I'll never forget what you said to me right before Hanukkah, when you butchered the pronunciation trying to say Hanukkah Samalai Sam, which in Hebrew means Happy Hanukkah Sam. Which again was wishing me a happy Hanukkah. And you said to me, but I promise that the best way to deal with your doubts and external opinions is consistently doing the work and proving them otherwise. I remember those words to this day. You have inspired me not only as a leader, but as a person. And for that, I cannot thank you enough. Thanks, Jediah.
Thank you for all of these heartwarming speeches. It's such a boon to our community for students to shout each other out, bringing us together one last time. Congratulations to our seniors. These last goodbye speeches mark the end of their term serving the school. But don't leave yet. Addresses to advisors, the announcement of our new board, and much more is still to come. Enjoy the ambiance set by our wonderful orchestra, and we will resume in 15 minutes. If you want to get more food, you can line up in an orderly fashion to get more.